Greetings, Inquisitors, and welcome to day 2 of the Lex Talionis project. We streamed the start of this account. New account building is certainly different than it was in the past, so we took about 6 hours yesterday and created this new account, got it to level 36. I worked with it this morning, got my free energy at noon, my squad arena payout, and I'm doing this update after the reset. So this is the second day for me. Because I changed my reset time on the first day, it actually shows as the third day here. I'll be able to pick up my third day rewards off this calendar, but it's only the second day of playing this account. So what we're going to do today, we're going to play out day number 2, but we are also going to go through all of the teams and how I'm setting this account up. I am going to pursue a path of building economy in the account. I will transition into a relict CLS team, and then I will build profundity, and then we'll see where the account goes from there. So that's all the stuff that I'm going to show today on setup. So for anybody who watched day 1, thank you. Welcome back to day 2. For those who haven't watched day 1, this video could still be useful if you're in your first couple weeks or trying to set up your account for a similar kind of path. The path is called Hope of the Rebellion. I have a detailed guide on it on my channel. You can look that up as a 2023 starting guide. So I'm following that, but I'm following it using all of the stuff that's valid as of September of 2023 for starting an account. All right, so let's get into it. First things first, since we've reset, we can claim these calendars. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We did get the 7th star worth of Ahsoka Fulcrum as a gift on our second day here. And we did get 1,000,000 credits. So that gives us enough to go ahead and take this character to 7 stars. Now we have the first 7-star character in the account. I don't plan to develop this character. It can be a decent character, but we really want to focus our gear all on the characters that we intend to use as a team in Galactic Wars. Really early on here, around level 40, that's really our focus. Our focus has got to be on getting a single team that's going to be good and effective in Galactic Wars. We want to be able to get as many days where we can clear all 12 of those zones as we possibly can. The Phoenix are pretty good at that. They have some pretty good sustain and recovery, so we're going to really focus on them. We're not going to do anything with Ahsoka Tano at all. Now I have allowed my energy to max out, so we want to get in there and knock down that energy. We do have Ezra Bridger down here that we could develop, but we're not going to work on him. Now that we've got Ahsoka built up, we can take a 2nd star here on Anakin. We can also go into our Phoenix, and we can, let's see, where's the Phoenix team? We can go in here and max these all out to 37. We should have enough credits to be able to do that. Oops. Clicked off. Okay. Here we go. Let's do Sabine. We've got them all at 36 from yesterday, but we'll go ahead and put this next level on them. It's nice that they gave us training droids. That's going to help us a lot. Let's see if one of our hard farms can get us this material. Nope. That's all gated behind higher level nodes that we don't have access to yet. Maybe we can find it out of the shop at some point, but maybe not. We'll see. Okay, so we're kind of stuck on these characters. Taking them all up one. Okay, we got a couple of them that need more than one level, so we'll take these to 37. Okay, and then Choppa. Get to the Choppa. Zeb can go to 37. And then Chopper's 36, he can go to 37. And we did manage to make a couple purchases of Chopper out of the Cantina store. So that puts us, a few shards in on getting his 6th star ready to go. We do have some skills that we could work on. Maybe working on maintenance protocol seems like a good thing. Gearing up Harrison Dula's leadership is probably really the priority, right? So let's see. Each Phoenix grants their unique ability. In addition, they gain turn meter. So every time we click the turn meter, they'll be gaining more and more turn meter. It's 6%, 8%, 10%, and on up, right? So we definitely want turn meter gains. So that'll be our priority here. We'll go ahead and take the next level 2. Need level 40 to get anything else. Okay, fine. So that's as much as we can do on the Phoenix for now. So I've set up farming routines for the account, and we're going to go through that. But first, we're going to farm the characters that are important for the account that we have access to right now. So Harrison Dula, we can farm 5 on this hard node. Farming shards is more important at this point in the game, I believe, than farming gear. As you saw, it was easy enough to gear up the characters to the point where we're waiting on new nodes to unlock before we can get the gear. So just farming through the hard nodes is what makes the most sense to me. Okay, we're going to do 1 refresh for 50 crystals, and we're going to see how many hard farms we can do in total. So we've done Hera. Now we've done Anakin. We have access to Sabine, so we'll get her farmed as well. And maybe I need to do a second refresh here. We'll see. We can also get to Leia, and we can get to Veers. So what I'll probably do is I'll spend what energy I can here on Veers. And just be done with it, right? So later on, when we get free energy, I'll come in here and we'll work on Veers. Now, throughout the morning, I grabbed my free energy at 6 a.m. So with my reset time, oh, hey, look, welcome to the Shard Store, okay? Did we actually get extra shards from somebody, or it's just because, okay, it's just because we got the Fulcrum to 7 stars that went ahead and gave us the shard shop. Nice. Okay, so I grabbed the free energy in the morning, and I grabbed the free energy in the afternoon, and I grabbed the free energy the 3 hours after that. So we've gotten 3 instances of 45 free energy, and with that free energy, I went through the dark side battles, and we did the normal and hard dark side battles all the way through 4. And it was interesting. The energy worked out quite nicely. We hit level 37. That gave us some more energy, and we were able to get that all the way unlocked through 4 hard on the dark side. So we're as far as we can go on light side. We're as far as we can go on dark side on day 2. And if you haven't progressed that far, of course, you're going to work on that progression before you work on your hard nodes. Anytime something unlocks that you can progress your light side and dark side battles, you're going to use your big friends. You're going to get through those battles. You're going to 3-star them as a priority, and then you'll go back to farming the hard nodes. In Cantina, I worked through Sector 2, and I'm working now on Sector 3. I think that without some big friends, I probably wouldn't be making it with my Phoenix here. But I showed this big friends trick on the startup stream. Basically, you can go into a Discord like my Loquitur Discord. The link is always in the description of the holocron. You can click on that. You can go to my Discord, and there'll be people willing to give you their ally code. just to help out new players like this. There's other ways you can just look up players with developed accounts on Swgoh.gg, or you could just ask nice people yeah, I think mainly you have to get on a Discord or look them up on Swgoh.gg. It's not really easy and convenient to do in the game. But anyway, once you've got some big friends like this, you can use them. We're going to go ahead and potentially, waste a run here. But what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can do 3D with our Phoenix as they are with no friend. So we'll take a friend and then we'll kick them out. And we'll see if we didn't have big friends, could we make it through 3D on Cantina? I think the answer is going to be no, but the Phoenix do have some pretty good sustain, so maybe they'll surprise me. Getting some good counterattacks off here. We'll take this guy out. We'll call Chopper, use his basic. We're not going to taunt at the moment with any characters. We'll save our taunts on both Chopper and Kanan for a moment where we need to protect somebody who's low on life, which is not now, so we'll just keep using basics on all these guys. Okay, Hera. Yeah, we're doing fine. Look at this. I mean, it's on wave 1 of 3, so maybe it'll get harder as we go along, but so far so good. Chugging right along here. Level 37 characters, gear level 4 is where I've gotten them to. And like we just saw, gear level 5 is gated behind unlocking more nodes. And you could probably put this on auto and be successful, but again, I want to manage my taunts and use them if I need them. We want to 3-star this. Simply completing the node is fine. It'll let you move on to the next node. But if you get 2 stars, then the next time that you want to work this node, you can't sim it. You can't sim it until you get 3 stars on a node. So basically, if we can't 3-star them, we're not that interested in continuing to push. We're good. Like, we just keep earning back little bits of protection here to keep our characters alive. Hera's at risk now a little bit, but it doesn't seem too bad. Look, she gets some free protection. These Phoenixes are sharing their passives, and it's working out quite well for us. Of course, not Underworld Police here. We'll go ahead and rip up his armor a little bit. Just use basics. We're going to call a basic on Zeb. If a character is already dazed, his basic has a chance to stun. So we landed the daze on this character prior, so we went ahead and attacked again with Zeb and got the stun. That's nice. Kept him out of commission for a few rounds. Shut him down. Alright, then we can go in here for wave 3. And we're in good shape. We really, surprisingly, we'll trigger the stagger. The stagger buff takes away his turn meter, so that'll reset his turn meter. Now he's got an expose on, so even though we really don't want to be attacking the toughest character until we kill some of these other guys, we do want to pop that expose before he loses it. Let's protect Sabine, give her a little bit of protection up. Try to do a big hit over here and get this guy dead. Chopper will taunt just to make sure Sabine stays alive. We don't want him killing Sabine. Go in on the cuppies over here. Yeah, we'll call Sabine. She should be the hardest hitting member of our crew. Okay, let's protect Chopper. Get the taunt up on Kanan. Let him take the hits for a second. And this is what you do with Phoenix. You juggle the taunts between Kanan and Chopper, and that allows you to use the Phoenix passives to recover in between. All right, nice big hit there. Okay, we're all done but for the cry in here, and it's nice. Okay, so we did it with Phoenix, no problem. So our level 37 Phoenix, gear 4, 5 stars like they gave us for free. just walked through level 3D on Cantina. We can make it easier on ourselves with the big friends, and we're going to do that because, you know, hey, it just takes less time. And if we can save some time, we're all about doing that. Now, I am going to use my crystals for Cantina refreshes. There's very important characters that we get out of the Cantina, and the more stars we can get on our geos before we get into fleet at level 60, the more competitive we'll be against other similar players. So we're going to want to grab these geos out of the Cantina. So therefore, I'm going to be using my crystals that I get to refresh Cantina, push the progress on those geos, get us better equipped to get fleet placement starting in fleet. Fleet Arena, at the time of the recording of this holocron, still gives crystals. They've said before in the past that they were planning to change that and take those crystals away. They still haven't done it, so we're going to bank on that continuing to be the case. We're going to build for fleet, we're going to build for success, and hopefully be able to pull crystals down out of fleet. Another reason to focus on Cantina early on, they do give these ability materials. So you won't be able to level up your skills very well at first. You'll be short on these materials, and Cantina is the place to grab these early on. Here we're going to do our first 100 cost refresh. That'll give us 120 Cantina energy. You can see it blows us right past our maximum energy, but there's nothing we can do about that because 120 is more than we can hold. So we'll be unfortunately locked up on Cantina energy for a bit. It's all right. We might lose like 1 or 2 energy that we could have otherwise had, but again, if you're going to do refreshes, there's really no way around it. Okay, using a big friend, we're just going to put it in auto. And again, we saw that the Phoenix could do this, so it's not a matter of whether or not we could be successful with it. It's just a matter of I don't want to spend that much time. So I'm going to use the friends that I have, and I'm going to make it go faster. We're going to clear these zones through 3. I think that's as far as we can go. I don't think we can get to 4 on Cantina. If we can, we will continue through 4. I think 4D maybe is the Geo Spy node. So if we can get to Cantina 4, that's certainly going to be an objective for us. All right, we're about to finish off 3, so we're going to find out after this battle right here. Gas is crazy. General Anakin Skywalker, he's hilarious in these as a super friend in these battles because this big area effect is just fantastic, right? And he's got counterattacks, and he's fast. He attacks all the time, so he just makes this go really quickly. And we'll target Dooku first because we don't want the counterattacks off of Dooku. And when gas goes, he should just pick him off. And then we don't have any problems with this battle after that. All right. That might have been hard on Phoenix because that Dooku does hit pretty hard. I think we'd have been able to survive proper use of taunts. Hera's second special ability gives her okay, so stage 46, level 46 and stage 3 completion. So level 46 before we can continue. So we're locked down low on these guys. But Hera's second special does put a buff on your characters. So like if your Kanan is taunting and he's going to die, you can throw that buff on him. And then when he gets killed, he comes right back and gets resurrected. So even if you know one of your characters is going to die, the Phoenix have a chance to still get a 3-star completion. It's pretty good early on. All right, let's sim this soldier node. Not very good on the ability materials. These low nodes aren't going to be that great for ability materials. It's a pretty low drop rate, and the XP is pretty low, but we need the soldier. So we're just going to go ahead and do the 100 cost refreshes. And we won't be able to keep up with this after a few days. We are going to be in a situation where we will not be getting enough crystals to be able to continue to do these refreshes. But early on, I really think that's the absolute best use of these crystals, is to just get ahead on Cantina farms. And there's a lot of characters that we could farm out of Cantina, but we're not going to. All right, so then I'm going to go through the character we leveled up. So let's get rid of that energy. Again, we're targeting these hard farms. I don't think we farmed Veers all the way yet. We still got a couple farms off of his node that we can do. And now we have access also to Princess Leia, so we can farm her. So we're going to do that. And then I'll show you guys all the farming stuff that I have set up, all of it, and why. And you can set something similar like this up for yourself if you're going to do a similar kind of thing. But this is sort of where you say, okay, I'm in the game now. It's confusing. There's so many characters. What is it that I need to build? So this is not a short-term thing. This list of teams is not something that you're going to try to complete in 2 weeks. This is the list of characters that we're going to build as we go through 85. And it's going to take us about, let's say, 10 weeks to get to 85, something like that. Maybe even longer. I don't know with the free stuff that we got and the free levels we got at the start where we're going to end up on this. But let's say it takes 10 to 12 weeks to get to 85. We still won't be done with this farming list by the time we get to 85. Okay, the point is we're going to prioritize what characters that we're going to be buying out of the shop. We're going to prioritize what characters we're going to be farming, and it's going to be based on the long-term success of the account. So there's events in the game called assault battles. Assault battles have different levels. The important level is called Challenge Tier 1. The loot that drops out of Challenge Tier 1 includes injector handles that you need to take characters from Gear 12 to Gear 13 and put relic levels on them. And there's not a whole lot of other places in the game that give you those injectors, and you don't want to have to farm them or buy them. So getting these assault battles under control early on is important. And trooper team, 7-star troopers, they all have to be 7 stars. And I like to have one character on the team that's relicked as a damage dealer. That can get you 2 assault battles through Challenge Tier 1 and get you started with that loot. So the troopers are too good to pass up. Still a good team after all these years. I used to recommend Snow Trooper. Snow Trooper is not part of the new raid. But man, I tell you what, when I looked through all of the other troopers to see what was best to replace Snow Trooper as a first trooper, it's not good because they're all farmed, like Shore Trooper, Range Trooper, Dark Trooper, they're all farms. And I'll show you in a minute, but I don't really have more room for hard farms in the build that I'm planning. So I put Magma Trooper here, and I also earmarked Death Trooper. Death Trooper's a Cantina farm. I don't know if we're going to get enough Cantina energy to be able to manage the Dark Trooper. If we can, and we do, then Dark Trooper is going to be my pick. But if we can't manage Dark Trooper, if we've got too much stuff to do out of the Cantina, then we're going to build a Magma Trooper simply because we can build that character out of the shop. If it doesn't work, then, you know, at some point I'll just tell you guys the Magma Trooper's not working out. You need to build the Snow Trooper after all. And even though the Snow Trooper isn't part of the raid system coming up with this new speeder bike raid that they're planning to do later in the year, he still may be the best relic. He's easy to get. He's a shop character. He's easy to gear. So depending on how things shake out, I still may go back to the Snow Trooper as the default first relic on the account. But let's see. I'm open-minded. If we can get Death Trooper, I think it'll be okay. If we have to settle for Magma Trooper, it's not great. Stormtrooper is a shop character, but if you build up a Stormtrooper, you get a really good tank, and it's not what you need for those assault battles. The Trooper team works off of turn meter gain. Admiral Piet has an ability that lets you gain turn meter on the troopers every time somebody gains a buff. Veers, every time you get a kill, you get a whole bunch of turn meter. So basically the idea with these troopers is you got to get going, you got to get kills, keep your turn meter trained, and literally in these assault battles, once you get your first kill, the opposing enemy never gets a turn for the rest of the assault battle. And that's how you win with relatively low gear on your troopers. But you need a damage dealer to ensure that you can get those kills and keep the turn meter train rolling. So we're going to look to Magma Trooper. We're going to see if this works. It's a new idea. Smuggler's Run. There's an event called Smuggler's Run. It's a pretty hard event for a new account. We have to build Dash Rendar to relics for the profundity eventually. So we're going to take Dash Rendar all the way to Relic 7 as soon as we can. He's going to be one of the first, like, 3 or 4 relics in the account. You need 5 smugglers at 6 stars in order to be able to do this event. The Chewbacca journey is pretty hard for the 7th star, but getting him to 6 stars isn't too bad. On the profundity journey, we need to build bounty hunter ships in order to get the Millennium Falcon unlocked anyway. So we will be building bounty hunters. It won't be hard to get Chewbacca to 6 stars. We'll take it. Han Solo we can buy out of the raid shop, get him to 6 stars. We'll take it. Vandor Chewbacca and L3 have really good synergy with Dash Rendar. You can make that into a really effective 3v3 team with just Dash, Vandor, and L3 in Grand Arena, and you can put together some 5v5 team, or you can take this on offense and just use Dash, Vandor, and L3 on offense. So we'll be building this team. L3 is a Cantina character. Again, you're going to hear it over and over again. We've got a lot of characters that we need to look to in the Cantina. It's hard to afford those Cantina refreshes, so it's important that we use our energy for that as a priority. Okay, so the Smuggler's Run team that we're going to build is here. And again, we're not really going to be able to do Smuggler's Run until 85 and Dash Rendar gets relicked. I've tried this before with Gear 12 characters, and it can be a pretty tough run. So if you've got like one Gear 12 character and the rest of them are lagging, I don't think you'll get it done at the highest level. But once we get Dash Rendar relicked, then Smuggler's Run is under control. The rest of these guys are just needed to get the event unlocked, and Dash Rendar will do all the work and complete the event. Okay. Bounty hunters that we're going to use for Chewbacca, Bosk and Boba Fett. Boba Fett's a shop character. He's easy to get. Jango Fett's on the same node as the Hound's Tooth, which is Bosk's ship. So we'll be farming Bosk. We'll be farming Jango Fett to also get Bosk's ship. That gives us 2 bounty hunters, shop character with Boba Fett. Cad Bane is in the Xanadu Blood ship. He's the pilot. He's a shop character, easy to get. Grief Karga, we have to farm the Rebel Y-Wing pilotless ship, and Grief Karga is still, at the time of this holocron, in the fleet node that has that ship. So we'll be able to farm Grief Karga while we're farming that ship, so we're just going to do it up front and use him as one of the bounty hunters. We also need IG-88. He's the pilot for the IG-2000 ship. That's another ship that we will need for unlocking the Millennium Falcon. But this is a better team, so this team is going to be good for the Chewbacca event. And we'll build up the IG-2000 and the IG-88 as like the least geared of the bounty hunters if we can manage it. Okay? But this will be the team that unlocks Chewbacca for us. The Phoenix here, they're all rebels. We have the opportunity to grab Emperor Palpatine, and you can get him to 7 stars if you have a 7-star rebel team. So, you know, if we're going to work on Phoenix, let's work on them. We have to finish Harrison Dula for the Profundity journey anyway, so we can go ahead and put Phoenix up front. They've given us a lot for free, and we can go ahead and build this as our main team for Galactic Wars. Jedi, we're going to want to build Jedi. We're going to want an early Jedi team under Qui-Gon Jinn for Grand Arena, and this is an all-Galactic Republic team that can also do fantastic in Grand Arena. It can unlock Grandmaster Yoda. The characters here are good later if you want to build Padme, which we probably will. And then Qui-Gon can lead this team in Grand Arena, and then Padme can be the leader of this team elsewhere. I love Jedi Knight Anakin. This character, he's old. His kit is like super simple. He's just got a big area effect that hits everything and a basic ability that has 2 really strong debuffs with healing immunity and buff immunity. So you put a little bit of potency on this guy, and when other characters take damage, when another ally falls below 50% health or is defeated, he gets a bonus turn, and he does 100% more damage if all allies are Galactic Republic, so you put him in the Qui-Gon team. No Jedi can die until Qui-Gon dies. When Qui-Gon dies, he triggers a free turn for Anakin, and then Anakin does the area effect and smashes the enemy team for ridiculous amounts of damage. I've taken out a full Relic Darth Revan team with absolute garbage Jedi and a Relic 7 Jedi Knight Anakin. His ship is still incredibly relevant. Doesn't matter what fleet you have, you can bring in his ship as a reinforcement. It puts on buff immunity. It helps keep Houndstooth under control. So building Anakin and building his ship isn't part of the core build. It's not part of an income team. It's not part of an assault battle that we're going to do right away. It's not part of any of that. It's just that the character himself and the ship are so good that it's worth putting all of that aside and saying we're going to invest in Jedi Knight Anakin, even to the extent that he might be one of my first 4 relics on this account. I like him that much. But these are the Jedi that we'll work on. Again, we're focusing on shop characters, right? So Qui-Gon comes out of the shop, Mace out of the shop, Ahsoka, and General Kenobi we can buy for raid currency. An Empire team, if we can get Mara Jade unlocked, that'll be nice. This team is pretty interesting. As I build the account, you guys can watch me play it. In Grand Arena, Emperor Palpatine, we'll want Thrawn on this team instead of the TIE Fighter pilot once we get Thrawn unlocked. But basically, you build up your Thrawn a little bit so he can give the turn over to Mara Jade. She just goes crazy, starts debuffing everybody. Emperor Palpatine, his leadership says when you put debuffs on enemies, you get turn meter. So basically, Mara Jade debuffs them and just starts going and taking away their turn meter and taking 1 billion turns, and that's it. You win, right? Once the enemy team is on lockdown, your Empire guys just keep going and going and going, and they never get a turn. I've taken like a 90,000 galactic power team here with like a Gear 12 Thrawn, and the rest of the characters just absolute garbage, and wiped out full relic teams with it. Like bounty hunter teams, anything that's slower than your Thrawn is susceptible to it. So it's a team that we can build. We can put cheap gear on it and just waste people in GAC. Ewoks, this is later, right? So we're going to want to build Ewoks to get 3PO done. We want that full relic CLS team. We want to build it with the right characters. C-3PO is part of that. We'll need 5 Ewoks at 7 stars. I unlocked the 7-star. That journey is notoriously difficult, so you have to gear up your Ewoks pretty well. These Ewoks are in the new raid, so it's fine. We'll build the Ewoks. We'll have them for the new raid if that helps us get some score. If it's relevant, and we'll get C-3PO unlocked. The only character here that's not out of the shop is Chief Chirpa. Farming Wicket is really a good deal because he does give access to an event that's special and specific to having a 7-star Wicket. So if you don't have a 7-star Wicket, you can't do it. With a 7-star Wicket, basically once per month you get 2 free Zeta materials. It's a pretty good deal, but again, I'm just having so much trouble finding space to farm things. The CLS journey, I don't know. So we'll be able to farm a little bit of Leia. Luke can come out of the shop. He can be out of the guild event store. Stormtrooper Han's a shop character. Obi-Wan can be out of the shop. Princess Leia, I believe you can get out of the shop. So all of these characters we can get out of the shops. I just don't know what the priority is on them, because there's a bunch of other stuff that we got to get out of the shops first. So I'm putting this team on the bar. We have to get it. We want to get it. That's going to be our first full relic team that we build. It's just a question of exactly how it fits and when we're going to activate purchasing those characters. Meantime, since we have energy and we don't have too many hard nodes unlocked yet, like you just saw, we can get in there and farm Princess Leia each day. Eventually, we're going to have these guys for profundity. These 5 plus Hera, Syndulla, plus that Dash Rendar that we've already got earmarked. And then the Night Sisters, it's possible to do their assault battle at Challenge Tier 1 with 1 relic on Old Daka. So we will plan to build that. And with that, we should be able to get 4 of the assault battles to Challenge Tier 1 within the first 4 to 5 months, I would hope. Maybe it takes longer than that, but 2 months after hitting 85 may be a little aggressive, so maybe it's going to take 6 or 7 months in total from the time we started level 1. But we'll get 2 with the troopers. We'll be able to do CLS in the Rebel assault battle. We'll be able to do Daka in that Night Sister assault battle. The Jedi one is pretty hard to get Challenge Tier 1. You have to have a pretty good Jedi Knight Revan or Jedi Knight Luke in order to get that successfully locked down. I've tried it before with like a Relic Shakti, a Relic Anakin, a bunch of other Jedi that were at Relic level, and there's a zone where they put healing immunity on you, and they do a pretty good job of focusing down 1 or 2 of your characters. And you can't heal up, you can't recover, you don't have enough turn meter, they go pretty fast, and you end up in a situation where you can't finish it out. So Jedi Knight Revan solves that, and Jedi Knight Luke solves it. So we're not going to go crazy on Jedi. We're not going to try to get that assault battle as one of our first ones. We're going to take the stuff that we can get easily. With those 4 under control, then we can work into the Jedi later. There's also a Sith assault battle, but I think it's First Order and Sith, if I remember correctly, and we should be able to get that one too. I have to look into that. I didn't specifically build this. I think I kind of left that assault battle out. Anyway, so but this build, this is going to be the complete package, right? We're getting the easy journeys done. We're getting Empire team to unlock R2-D2. We're getting the Rebel team to unlock Emperor Palpatine. Bounty Hunters to unlock Chewbacca. The Smugglers to get the Smugglers Run event done. And I think this is the most that we can reasonably snowball the account with these characters early on. So then we're going to divide these up into shop characters and daily farming. So the shop characters, we've got Chopper. Comes out of the cantina. We're going to focus him down. We're going to get him all the way to 7 stars before we start working on Ahsoka. Once we start working on Ahsoka, it might be in our best interest at some point to get Qui-Gon to 3 stars or 4 stars. We may unlock some of these characters, Qui-Gon, Boba Fett. It's not really... Boba Fett, I don't think we really need early on. We should be able to go a long time before we need him or his ship. So the target's going to be basically 7 star, 7 star, 7 star, 7 star, and just move on one at a time and max out these characters. In the guild shop, the first priority, once we start getting this guild currency, once we do a raid, Sunfac is just too good. Him coming out of the shop is fantastic. He's takes a long time to build if you just wait for him out of the fleet store. We're also going to buy him out of the fleet store, but for sure we're going to make him the number one priority here. The number two priority right behind him is Colonel Stark. We want these two characters built up to 7 stars as soon as we can. Stark because we're going to power the troopers with him, and Sunfac because he's going to be an important part of our fleet. Han Solo and Kenobi, these guys take 200 shards or 200 currency for 10 shards. Han Solo and Kenobi take 700, so they're going to be substantially longer to build these guys out. There's also an event at level 78. It's one of the key events in the game. You have to prepare for it, and we have to start preparing for it already now. The event is the Ship Materials Challenge Tier 3. That's the first place in the game that you get a supply of Zeta materials. Zeta materials are absolutely critical. You need them in your account. You got to have Zetas on these characters. And you want to be able to unlock that as soon as you hit 78. You want to grab your first Zeta materials. So in order to do that, we need 5 dark side ships at 4 stars in order to do an event for the Executrix capital ship. In order to get that to 5 stars, because the level 78 challenge takes 6 ships at 5 stars. Okay. I didn't realize when I did my Loquitur account almost 3 years ago now, I didn't realize that you had to have the dark side ships in order to get the Executrix ship. I'm sorry, it's only 2 years on Loquitur, right? What am I getting confused now? 150. Yeah, it's 3 years. My goodness, I can't believe my account's been going that long, 3 years. But yeah, so I got tricked by that because like the first 2 Executrix events don't require specifically dark side ships, but that 5-star Executrix event does specifically require 5 dark side ships at 4 stars. So we're going to have the 3 Geos. We've already agreed that we're going to build those. But you won't have Hound's Tooth built, for example, because that node opens up so late. The Hound's Tooth node is on level 7, but the pilot Bosk is all the way on level 9. So we can't wait for the Hound's Tooth. We'll have the 3 Geos. The Imperial TIE Fighter and the Imperial TIE Fighter pilot are easy to build. And we're going to look at this First Order TIE pilot and his ship. So this is easy to grab out of the shop. 440 for 4 shards. We can start building that up. Get that to 4-star and then get the pilot. And basically, we're not going to develop the ship. We're not going to turn it into one of our good ships. We're just going to have it at 4 stars and have a pilot in it, and then rely on our Geos to be able to carry us through that event and get the 5-star Executrix. So that's the plan. We'll basically have 3 really good ships and 2 really weak reinforcements, but that should be enough to carry us through, I hope. Okay, so after that, we go into the guild priority number 2. Once we've got these characters built out in a meaningful way, then we can start working on the Ewoks for that C-3PO journey. Eventually, we'll need Jyn Erso for the Profundity, and Darth Treya's out of the shop too. We can take a look at her once we get enough of this other stuff built. In the squad store, we want to look at Kanan Jarrus. We want to look at Grand Moff Tarkin. He's the admiral for that Executrix ship I keep talking about. We've pretty much got to get him up and running so that we get that capital ship where it needs to be for our fleets. That's going to be our capital ship. We can build Thrawn, but then we have to get the ships to unlock the Chimera. So we'll just focus on the Executrix first. Mace Windu, again, he's part of our Jedi team. He's a shop character. He's out of squad, so we'll build him. Cassian Andor we need to build eventually for the Profundity, and then IG-88. Again, we'll need his ship to unlock the Millennium Falcon. Galactic War Store, we're going to get Zeb first because we're going to build those Phoenix out to 7 stars. Once we've done that, we're going to focus on ships. So basically, we're going to buy Zeb, and then if we still are generating currency in the Galactic War Store, we're not going to spend it. We could buy Poggle the Lesser. Okay, we will eventually need that Geo. But instead, what we're going to do is we're just going to save up. And then when we hit level 60 and the ships show up in the shop, we're going to focus on buying Soldier, Spy, Sunfac, and Ahsoka Tano's ships. That's going to be our priority. Once we get those ships under control, then we can start buying Poggle, Magma Trooper, Cad Bane, Tebow. Like I said, this Magma Trooper, we're going to have to figure out if and how that fits and whether or not that works on the timeline. But it's too hard for me to guess without playing it out. And then Guild Event Store, we're going to look for Veers out of the Guild Event Store. He doesn't show up every time. He's pretty random in there, probably 1 out of 4 shops, maybe 1 out of 5. So maybe once a day that you'll see him if you see all 4 shop refreshes. But over time, we'll be able to grab Veers. That way we won't have to farm him off of hard farms. Luke Skywalker also comes out of the Guild Event shop. We can look for him there a little bit. And then, again, this Rebel team, we just got to see how it fits. So if we're working on the shop characters and we've got plenty of currency, and we, like, let's say we're already up to the Cad Bane here in Galactic War Store, then we can drop down here. Is it Stormtrooper Han? Maybe he's a Squad Arena character. No, he's Cantina. Yeah, so if we get ahead on Cantina characters, for example, out of the Cantina shop, then we can drop down and look at him. We do have to build Cassian's U-Wing out of the Cantina shop, and that really takes a long time. So, again, I don't know for sure. But basically, these are the characters that we're going to buy out of the shop because it's required. And then when we're ready to build that CLS team, we're going to have to take these characters to 7 stars. We don't have a choice. That's going to be required to get the CLS team. But we'll see how it fits. We'll see. Like, maybe it fits here, maybe it fits here, maybe it fits here. I don't know. So let's see. Let's work through it, find out where those characters make the best sense, and then we'll update the farming tab from there. That leaves us with the characters that we have to farm. So basically, by the time we hit 85, we're going to be on 6 farms. Anakin, Piet, Vandor, Bosk, 3PO and Chewie, Jango Fett for his node also is the Houndstooth ship for Bosk, right? So those are the 6 hard nodes that we want to be farming by the time we hit 85. That means while we're at lower levels and we don't yet have access to all these nodes, we can farm Sabine Wren, we can farm Hera Syndulla, Jedi Knight Anakin can already be farmed. We can work on Princess Leia with the extra energy that we get, and we can work on Veers. So these 2 characters out on the end, we're only going to work on those when we have, let's call it, quote, extra energy. Here at first, because we don't have a lot of these nodes unlocked yet, we can work on these 5. But by the time we get a few of these characters open and farmable, we're going to have to be done with Hera and Sabine. So the hope is that it's probably going to take about, 8 weeks. 185 shards takes about 8 weeks to farm. So hopefully, within 8 weeks, we'll have these guys done. We won't be able to continue farming Leia. We won't be able to continue farming Veers. But this is just kind of like a roadmap, right? We're going to farm these characters while we have access to them. When Piet comes available, we'll start farming him. And when Vandor becomes available, we'll start farming him, etc. Okay. Cantina. Geo Soldier, Geo Spy, Moff Gideon, Death Trooper's a question mark. The second phase of Cantina, we're going to want Dash Rendar. He's going to be the big priority. Geobrood Alpha, if I remember right, when I did my Aptitio account, I unlocked him at 4 stars just to get the Geos up and running. You do have to eventually get him in better shape so that you can do the Wat Tambor event. But I think I had some other farms going on at the time. So like I had to do Brood Alpha to 4 stars, go back and finish out like a Dash Rendar or whatever I was working on at the time. I don't remember exactly. And then come back to Geobrood Alpha, finish him up. And then L337, of course, is part of that Dash Rendar crew that's going to do Smuggler's Run. So a lot of priorities out of the Cantina. It really takes quite a lot of Cantina energy to get these guys all to 7 stars. And if you can't do refreshes, it's really slow. So let's get the refreshes early while we can. And let's focus on that as the use for our crystals for the most part. And we'll try to just do hard farms with our regular energy throughout the day. We'll do refreshes in the Cantina with our crystals, and we're going to see how that works out. Okay, when we get to Fleet, the Fleet farms are going to be Jedi Knight Anakin's ship. We're going to look for Grief Karga and that pilotless Y-Wing. Dash Rendar's Outrider we have to farm. And then we'll farm Sunfax. So we'll basically be buying his ship out of the Galactic War Store when it shows up. We'll be buying it out of the Fleet Store when it shows up, and also be farming it off the node when we can. So that'll be the agenda with the Fleet energy. So that gives you Dark Side, Light Side, Cantina, Returned Cantina, and Fleet. Now I want to talk about the objectives. So for any new players who might not know this, in the Objectives tab, once you're part of a guild, there is a daily objective for the guild. And you can see here it's complete PvP attempts. So you will want to complete 5 PvP attempts to make sure that you get crystals. So a lot of people only do 1 or 2 battles. You can see later on the quests change. Right now you have to do 3 to complete your daily quests. But yeah, completing more of these gets you more of this guild currency. Next day it might be dark side, farm dark side stuff, and on that day you want to try to focus your energy on dark side. On the day when it says light side, focus your energy on light side. Save up crystals so that when it's Cantina you can do 3 refreshes on Cantina. This seems like a very small thing. It's over here on a tab that nobody pays attention to. But trust me, there's certain days where if you get like the top 5 spots somewhere in there on your placement, it really gives you a lot of guild currency, and it's for free. It doesn't cost you anything to make sure that you stay abreast of the daily objectives. So yeah, just get in there and do them. Do the daily objectives. Pay attention to what's on the guild tab over here. And be successful with that. Okay, log in 7 times. We'll take the achievements, some daily stuff that we've already got done just for farming. So we'll take all these daily quests. Gear collection, you want to make sure that you go in here every day and do all of these, right? You don't ever want to be caught not doing your daily quests. When you do the last quest, finish out the day, it's really a lot of experience that you get. We did these challenges. It wasn't a problem. We unlocked tier 3 on this. That's interesting. Okay, let's take we can take in a friend. So why wouldn't we take in a big friend here? And we'll go ahead and school this event. Do a Force Crush. And then we'll do Lightsaber, get a free turn, hit somebody else. And we'll save the Merciless Massacre for the last zone. See, we can call Vader here. Go ahead and kill her. All right. And then Merciless Massacre on the last here. We should just be able to annihilate all of this stuff. There we go. Force Crush probably kills everything. All right. Victory, 3 stars. Never have to play it again. Pretty fantastic. So let's sim that 2 more times. Get our training droids. Good enough. And we're about halfway through level 38 already. Didn't mean to click on that. Let's go back to the objectives. Daily gear collection. Fill 1 character's gear slot. Open a pack in the store. Buy shipments. Okay, let's do all those. Open a pack in the store. You just get the free pack here. Take it, unlock it. Objective done. Go to the store. And there's no reason you can't ever get your purchases, right? Because you can always purchase these 4 things right here in the featured shipment tabs that cost credits. They're super cheap, best value in the game. Now we're going to go through the shops, and you can either go through your tab. Maybe it's better if we do it this way. So we go in here to our shop characters, and for the Cantina character, this is the one we're buying. So we can click on this. We can see the purchase here for 400. We have 690, so we can purchase Chopper. Squad Arena, I don't think we can afford anybody yet. The guild shop, we don't have the currency for that. Let's check here for Kanan. 360, so we can't afford shards for him yet. Drop down. Galactic War's not open yet, so there's nothing we can do there. Guild event's not open yet, so that's it. That's it for the shops for now. We can promote this Geo. Get him his 4th star. That's nice. Okay, and then we got to go put gear on a character. So let's go to characters. Let's take Sabine. Sure, why not? And it doesn't even have to be an upgrade, right? All you have to do is put on a piece of gear on a character, and it's already enough to complete the quest. So we're done there. So all we have to do to finish out the day is squad arena battles, and we can do those slowly over time. There's a 10-minute timer between battles, which is super annoying. I don't know why they haven't kicked that out of the game yet, but we'll have to pick these up over time. All right, done. Working our way up from 18,000 yesterday. We're already up to 5,800. And we'll keep passing up all these other people who either aren't playing or already quit the game or whatever. Okay. So, what else can we do with the account? Let's go through the rest of the shops just to see if there's anything else that we could have done in the shops. Guild activity, we've only got 69. This is what I was talking about in the day 1. These Merson detonators right here. These are finished. These are completed detonators, so they contain a lot of different gear pieces. For 200, it's a massively good value. So these things on the top line here that you can buy and help gear up your characters in the early game, those are great. You don't ever want to spend this currency on characters. These characters will all be duplicated in the raid currency, so you always want to buy characters using this Mark I raid token, and you want to use these guild tokens to buy gear to help gear up your characters early on. And again, I'll state it again, for your first few raids that you do, unlocking characters is far more important than buying gear. There's a ton of gear that you can buy for those Mark I raid tokens. It's really good. It's fantastic. It'll help you gear up your characters. But getting some 7-star characters, again, getting a 7-star Stark for your troopers so that you can do the assault battles, that stuff's really important. So we're going to focus really hard spending our currency on characters. Okay, Kanan will buy once we get stuff. None of this stuff's unlocked yet. We don't have any shards for the shard shop. Out of the shard shop, this is one of your best early purchases. These hollow projectors are needed all over the place. You need a lot of them. So that's a good purchase out of this shop. And eventually you'll be able to get some other gear here that's pretty good. But then once you get to level 85, there's very specific gear you're going to buy. If you want to know what it is ahead of time, you can watch my gear efficiency video from 2023. It's going to explain all that stuff in detail. So that's it. We've got a plan, right? We've got a plan for the whole account. And now each day we're just going to take our energy, we're going to take our Cantina energy, and we're going to apply it to this plan. We're going to buy these characters out of the shops. We're going to farm these characters every day. And as more nodes open up, we're going to farm the relevant characters off the nodes that we can find. And eventually we're going to build into these teams with the idea of establishing income first, building a Relic CLS team to help get Conquest and other things under control, and then roll into the Profundity. That is the plan for this account. And the Profundity, playing completely free to play, I'm guessing 11 months, something like that, by the time we get Profundity. That's just a guess. 3 months to get to level 85, 2 more months to get the CLS team under control, maybe 3, puts us at 6 months, and then 5 more months to get all the bounty hunters and everything we need and get all the Profundity stuff. Maybe we can do it faster than that, but I think we do need a Relic 8 and a Relic 9 for the Profundity, so that's a long way out. That's a lot of stuff that we've got to get and build and buy. So let's not set our hopes too much, but that's almost a year's worth of work, guys. So not a plan for the first few weeks. This is a plan for the first 10 to 12 months. All right. So that's it. We'll just keep chipping away at it. Tomorrow when I get the free energy, if we don't have characters that I can farm off of hard nodes, then I'll go in and look for gear on these characters, some kind of gear that I have access to that I can farm. I don't know if I can farm this yet. Yeah, okay, we got this on Dark Side Battle. So once I get energy, then I can go in here and I can start dumping energy and building that gear for Hera. And that's it. And then, they're buying the stuff out of the shops, getting the refresh. So it'll be that routine for the coming future. All right. We're going to wrap it up there for day 2. Nothing else to see here. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you in the next Holocron.